Hi, I'm Katie Strauss. I'm 11 years old, and here are 5 essential soccer skills I learned this season. Number 1, accurate passing. This is a good example of a through ball. Notice how I scan before I get the ball. This is important so I know how much time I have once I receive it. It also is necessary that I control the ball with the right to then play it with the left. This saves time. In this scene, I made a wall pass with the midfielder, which then eventually led to a chance to score. Here I also scan to know where my player is. Once the ball arrives, I play it to the midfielder and move to create a wall pass. This way we passed one player. Once I receive the ball again, I dribble down the line and make a cross. This gives us a chance at goal. In this clip, I skill the player and then chip the ball to one of my teammates. Here I attempt to make a wall pass. When I lose the ball, it is important that I try to get it back. When my forward passes me a through ball, I dribble down the line and cross it. In this scene, I play an air ball to my forward, which then has a chance to score. Here I win the ball and dribble to the open space, where I can then pass to my forward. This clip shows how I dribble past a player and am then able to pass to my teammate. My through ball enables the winger to pass one defensive line. Once I win the ball, I pass a through ball that beats one line of defense. This through ball allows my left winger to take a touch and shoot at goal. This is an example of a switch. All the players are crowded on the left side. This is the best time to switch the ball to the right side. Here's another example of a switch. Once I receive the ball, I know the other side is open. This gets us out of trouble. In this scene, I defend the ball and make a wall pass with my defender. This wall pass allows us to beat one player and get out of trouble. Number 2, ball control. When I know I can't go forward, I skill the player and reset the ball. Here I receive the ball and dribble between two players. That way I am able to have a shot at goal. When I receive the ball, I skill the player and look for a pass. When no one is open, I shield the ball till I can reset it. Then I get the ball again and attempt to pass it to my forward. Once the ball bounces back to me, I play it to my forward to run onto. When I receive the ball on the left foot, I dribble the ball past two players and cross it. Here it is important that I receive the ball on the left. This allows me to easily pass the winger. On a throw-in for the other team, I make a volley to my forward, which gets us out of trouble. Here I receive the ball and dribble into the box. I do this because I know there is open space and I can give it to my teammate who can have a shot. Here I move away from my teammate throwing in the ball. I do this to draw out my player. Then I do a step over to create space for me to cross the ball. When I receive the ball, I skill the player and do an outside turn to dribble down the line. Here I receive on my back foot and dribble down the line. I know everyone is going in that direction, so I cut back and play to the middle. When I get the ball, I turn and wait to draw in players. Then I pass it to the midfielder. When my teammate passes me the ball to get out of trouble, I get the ball and go to the wing. I pretend to cut back to steal my player and then cross it. When I get the ball, I make a wall pass with the other midfielder to beat one player. When I receive the ball again, I dribble through two lines of defense and pass it through the third. This is important because it allows us to have a chance at goal. Here I get the ball and skill the player so I can easily pass it to my forward. When I receive the ball here, I dribble 2 players, which gives the right winger time to run down the line so I can pass it to her. Here I get the ball and turn to pass it to the winger. I pass it to the winger because she ran to the open space where she can have a shot. Once I get the ball, I look up and see that I have more pressure than my forward. This is why I pass it to her. When I get the ball, I turn to skill 1 player. Then I notice that the middle is full, so I dribble to the wing so I can cross it. When my midfielder passes me the ball, I turn and skill 2 players to then have a shot. This leads to a goal. When I skill the players, I make sure that it looks real. That way they fall into it and I can have a shot with no one pressuring. Number 3, defense. Here I intercept the ball from the other team. Then I attempt to pass it to my forward, who would have been able to shoot. When I get the ball again, I dribble to the open space and have a shot. When the ball comes to me, I step up and kick it forward. This allows my winger to go forward with no one pressure. When the other team gets the ball, I go in front of it so they don't have a chance at goal. Then I pass it to the winger to get us out of trouble. When the ball comes to me, I dribble between 2 players in the space. Then I pass it to my winger. When I get the ball, I wait so it looks like I'm going down the line. Then I cut back and notice no one is open. This is why I skill the player and pass it to my forward ahead of me. Number 4, shooting and finishing. Here I receive the ball from my teammate. I take a big touch that I can run onto to put as much distance as possible between the ball and the defender. Then I protect the ball with my arms and am able to have a shot. When my teammate kicks a corner, I try to volley the ball into the goal. To do this, you must keep your eyes on the ball and focus on where the ball is. When I receive the ball, I dribble to the space and try to have a shot. It is important that I dribble to the space because it is easier to have a shot with no pressure. In these 2 examples of corner kicks, I kick it straight to the goalie, so it allows my player to run onto it and possibly have a shot. In this example of a corner kick, I pass it to my teammate and overlap her. When my teammate attracts 1 player, I am open. This allows me to have a shot. Once I receive the ball, I take a touch and have a shot. This touch separates me from the other 2 players, allowing me to shoot without pressure. My forward plays me a 3 ball that I am able to run onto. Then I beat 2 players and continue to run down the line. This allows me to cross the ball. Once I receive the ball in a throw-in, I take it past 1 player and cross it. The way I receive the ball is important because it allows me to pass 1 player and then split 2 players while I cross it. When my teammate plays me the ball, I turn and skill the player to have a shot. It is important that I turn this way because it saves time that the opposing players would use to get back and defend. Here I receive the ball and notice 3 players closing in. This leads me to dribbling past 1 and then splitting the other 2 to pass it to my forward who can then go to goal. When I see the 3 players closing in, I look up to develop a plan, which allows me to pass these players. When I receive the ball, I notice I am under pressure, so I play it back. Then I open up to receive the ball again. Here I get the ball and wait to attract the player to me. Then I pass it to the middle because she has a better shot to shoot than the defender coming to support me. Here my teammate plays me the ball and I dribble up and skill the player to then pass it to my winger. Before I receive the ball, I scan, which allows me to know that no one is pressuring. Then, when no one is coming to defend me, I take my space until the opposing team steps up. Here, I also receive the ball and take my space because no one is pressuring. I know no one is pressuring because while I dribble, I look up to see where everyone is. Here, I receive the ball and turn so I can cross it. I turn to the right because when I scan, I notice that everyone is positioned more to the left. When I receive the ball here, I hold on to it so my right winger is open. Then I pass it to her. Here, I get the ball and try to go forward. When I notice that I can't go forward, I pull it back and reset it. Then I open up and get the ball again. Once I have it, I pass it to my forward who is open. Here I dribble past one player, then I kick the ball past the other two. This way I put as much difference between the ball and the other players. Then I have a shot. When my teammate gets the ball again, I open up to have a shot. When the opposing player steps up, I push it past her to then have a clear shot. Thank you for watching my season highlights. Please subscribe and check out my other videos. For more videos like this, go to my sister's YouTube channel.